we go. Episode 2 of Losing Our Minds.
Yup, here we are.
I know. Can you believe it?
No. Yes.
Can you believe that you are continuing to do this with me?
Yes.
Yes. Are you just going to...
Do you know how?
How?
I can believe it?
Because I force you?
You kind of control me and I do anything you tell me.
Okay, no, we are not going to start off like that. That
Too
is
late.
not true.
Too late, it already
You
started.
are your own man. You make your own decisions.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I'm not going to clean the spare bathroom before Haley gets here in town to visit.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great. That's just for the podcast. She's definitely going to make me clean the bathroom.
You think they're going to be able to hear that?
Yeah.
I'm staring at him so hard right now.
All right, go ahead.
Well, our first episode is officially out. Did you listen to it?
I did not.
You didn't.
No. Did you?
Yes, I listened to it. I was the one who cleaned it up and put it all together.
That's true.
Yeah, so I listened to it.
No, I didn't listen to it. How do you feel about it?
Of course, there's a ton of grammar things for me, and I interrupted you several times. I also
Standard?
no.
Typical?
No.
Expected? Could have predicted that.
Wow. You interrupted me too. Actually,
Possible.
I don't really know if that's true. I just noticed I did it to you and was like, no, people are going to think I'm a horrible wife.
You know what's funny is that you say that.
This is your time to say, no, honey, you're amazing. You're the best. Like,
You're the best wife I ever had.
fishing.
You are the best wife I've ever
I literally
had.
casted a line and nothing came back on it.
You're the best wife I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. There's my fish right there.
Yeah. You're the best wife I've ever had. But what's funny about
But
you
you've
being
only had one wife, so.
accurate, but you're also the best and the worst wife I've ever had.
Because I'm your only one?
Yeah. So you fill all the roles.
Oh, so great. So great.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the episode was great. I just don't like re-listen. Like, back when I used to speak, I would never listen back over my things.
Yeah. I'm like, it was interesting. It was good. It's definitely funny. Yeah, listening back to
yourself. How many times did I say
your own voice? 14.
You said
Shoot. I was trying to be so careful there. No, I don't. I didn't really count.
Did you cut out all the times you cussed?
My mother listens to this. I didn't say
your mother knows how you
bad
speak.
words. I learned them from my mom. Oh, I'm just kidding. Mom, it was a joke. I'm just kidding.
She's not joking.
Yes. My mom has a clean mouth. Okay, I'm going to cut that out.
You're not cutting it. Leave it. All right, let's get into the meat of this one.
All right. So the meat already. You want to jump into the meat,
or whatever?
I'm just getting started. So basically, I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing. How was your day today?
Fine.
What'd you do today?
Made 2 YouTube videos.
Oh wow!
And was gonna go work out with my friend, but he didn't wake up and text me that he was awake, so I didn't. And so instead, you made me do this stupid running app thing with you that you're doing.
Yeah, we went running this morning.
Yeah, and I'm not a runner.
Neither am I.
In fact, if you are a runner and you love running, that's the first sign to tell me that I should be concerned about you and your mental well-being.
Like people who run for fun.
Right. Like, oh, I want to go for a run. You want to do what?
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, I want to put my head in the oven.
I was just thinking, I don't know why, but I was like, that's like, hey, I want to do drugs, but that wasn't.
But no, because
good.
drugs make you.
That wasn't good.
Drugs, according to my understanding from third parties, is drugs are supposed to make you feel good.
But running makes you feel good after you're done with it.
Not really.
Yeah, once you've completed
because
it.
afterwards, your back hurts, your knees hurt, your ankles hurt, you're out of breath. We're up in this high altitude now, and so.
That's the reason why I am running. I downloaded this app, and I'm trying to basically build up, what would you call it? Build up my...
Running tolerance?
Okay, that yawn.
Running tolerance?
Running tolerance? No, it like
Build up your lung
my
strength?
yeah,
your
my
heart?
yeah.
Your
I would
you were trying
Yes.
to improve your cardiovascular
Thank you.
system?
That
You
With this-
try Run Good.
okay. What?
Well, I was coming up with different terms to describe what you're trying to do.
I am
You try Run Good.
trying to adjust to this altitude.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to do something in Colorado called the Incline, and that's how far is it up into the mountain? It's like
I have no clue.
I don't know how far it is, but or how tall. Would it be how far or how tall?
Well, it's only like a mile or mile and a half, but it's a massive shift in elevation as you do it.
Yeah, and there's stairs.
Right, it's upstairs.
Yeah, it's upstairs. So it is in this mountain here in Colorado, and they're just stairs, and it goes. We're looking it up right now because we want to know exactly how far.
It's just under 1 mile, but it's 2,745 steps, and you gain 2,000 feet in elevation from start to finish.
Woo!
It's a 45% grade most of the time, as steep as 68%.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. But I want to do that. So
when on their website, it's like, how long does it take to summit? It says, depending on your fitness level and pass, I don't know what that means. Well, depending on your fitness level, it may take under 30 minutes to over an hour or more.
Oh, great.
Which I'm saying,
It's gonna take over an hour.
It's going to take over an hour, yeah.
Probably the more
part of over an hour,
yeah, but it's okay because I really want to do it, so that's why I started running, to build up all of that, get used to the altitude here. I've been really struggling with the altitude here. I get like chest pains and
yeah, but you've kind of gotten over it now that you've actually been drinking water.
well, no, I had one last night. I got chest pains last night before bed. Yeah, so that kind of sucked, but I'm slowly getting acclimated, and running is helping build that up, and I'm gonna do this incline. I'll let y'all know how it goes when it happens. I don't know when it will happen. I'm a little bit scared, but that is the goal here, right?
Nice.
Yes.
Yep.
So a couple other things, like I know in episode 1 we talked a lot about the change that was happening in our life, but to get a little bit more specific, we changed a lot when it comes to our food. Huh, Grayson?
Yeah.
So for the past month and a half, Grayson and I have been doing something called Whole30, which is kind of funny because Whole30 means you do it for 30 days, right? It's like a 30-day thing, but we're doing it now past 30 days. It's just kind of become how we eat now at this point. And it's kind of funny because it's hit us in different ways. Like for me, it makes me feel so good. Okay, wait. Why don't you go ahead and talk about like exactly what it is? Like, what do we eat? What can't we eat? Take it away.
Yeah, so essentially Whole30 is just about eating whole foods. So you can't eat anything processed. In like, that's a sweeping statement, nothing processed. You also cannot consume grains. It has some relation to paleo in that way. You can't consume grains. You cannot consume legumes, so beans and such. You cannot consume sugars other than naturally occurring sugars from like fruits and such. And what else is there? We're not allowed to
have bread.
No, well, that's grains.
Oh, you said grains.
Right.
Sorry. Bread is its own category.
It deserves its own category. I mean, that's not wrong. Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty dairy. That's the other big one.
Oh, dairy. But I was like,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. I keep hitting like and clapping, and it's going to be very loud for you, and I apologize. But back to what we were saying, dairy. Yeah, go ahead, dairy.
Yeah, dairy. Well, that's
I was just going to
dairy.
say I'm lactose intolerant, have been since I was 16.
But you've always consumed dairy anyways, and so this has been very beneficial in that it has caused you to...
I go through phases
No,
where I don't.
Well, the whole phase of you and I knowing one another for 6 years, you have consumed dairy.
Here and there, in very little moderation.
Oh my gosh. You might be...
What? What are you going to call me? What?
Well, in this particular area, in terms of the amount of dairy you consume, you're very not self-aware.
Did you just say I'm not self-aware?
In this particular area.
So if you think I'm not self-aware in this particular area, you must think I'm not self-aware in other areas.
See, that is female logic right there.
The problem with that is I would take that and say he doesn't think I'm self-aware.
But I didn't say that, and that's what I'm saying is the problem. That's how you like to logic sometimes. You are turning this into a marital conflict that it does not need to be. Because all I said was in terms of dairy consumption, you are not self-aware. That is very unoffensive.
Okay, well, I am self-aware now.
Okay. Well, but that's
Suddenly I'm offended, though.
That's my life. So that's the gist of Whole30 are those restrictions. Mm-hmm. And the idea should be that you're kind of detoxing your system, you're eating and consuming whole foods exclusively, and
Did you say no sugars except for natural sugars?
I did say that, yes.
Oh, okay.
I think I covered pretty much all of the stuff, all of the core stuff at least.
Yeah, and how's that been for you?
Well, I mean, excuse me.
Honey, you keep yawning.
I know, I don't know why.
You're yelling at me for being far from the mic, and you keep yawning into the mic.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's embarrassing. So what did you ask me?
How is it?
Because I got caught up in your criticisms and forgot what you actually asked me.
Is somebody at our door? These kids have been throwing rocks at our door.
Yeah, but not on purpose. It's like, I mean, on purpose throwing, but not like because they're mad at us. They're just like playing and they're throwing rocks around and they hit our door.
Yeah.
Screw apartment living, by the way.
Oh, I know. Good.
I mean, and we live in a somewhat, nice apartment. Like, it's not, and it's horrible. Anyways, so you asked me how Whole30 has been for me.
Oh, I was going to just say, see, somebody's knocking. They're pounding on our door.
Go check. There was no one there. There was no one there, was there? Ariel's hearing things.
No, that was my chair. That is a problem with apartment living, though. Like, I feel like you hear everything. Like, that could have been upstairs. We're on the bottom level, and our upstairs neighbors are so loud. I have predicted that she runs a Zumba class, and since gyms are closed, but actually I think gyms are open now, but I think she has her class upstairs, and they just pound, and they just pound on, their floor, our roof, and it's just a great time. Apartment living.
So I've taken to knocking the roof with a broom.
You have.
Hoping to hear it.
Yeah.
So you asked me how Whole30
so let's go back to what we're, how's Whole30 been for you?
I think, Whole30 overall has been good in terms of the results it has created for me. But I haven't asked you this. I mean, I don't think I'm snoring because you're not waking me up anymore.
No, that's been crazy because Grayson, when we first got married, you were not a snorer. And then recently...
Then I gained a lot of weight and then I started snoring.
Well, over the past year, you had some issues snoring. And that was so big for me whenever we got married. I think one of the first questions I asked you whenever we dated was I asked you if you snored. That was huge for me. And so the snoring thing has stopped. I don't think you've snored since we started this, really.
Yeah. So I'm not snoring anymore. I have no indigestion in terms of heartburn. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting heartburn or upset stomach. No. Well, particularly though, going to sleep with my stomach hurting or with indigestion, none of that at all.
Yeah.
At all. And then, we've been on it for about 40, 45 days. Mm-hmm. Well, a little more. Yeah, about 45 days. Mm-hmm. And I've lost, now officially this morning, just over 10 pounds. So that's been good. So it's been very positive for me.
Yeah.
Has it been positive for you?
Yeah, it's been positive for me. We started it together, I think, for some different reasons. I started it because of my skin. I was so ready to try to make a change with my skin because I've got planets all over my face. I've got the sun, I've got Venus and Jupiter, and those are all pimples for those of you who didn't know where I was going with that. So I have adult acne, and you know what? It started when I was 13, and I'm just curious when it goes away because everyone told me when I was a teenager that it would go away whenever I was in my 20s, and they lied.
Right.
So...
Well, I
just want anybody who is listening that is a teenager who has acne. Look, I'm so sorry. I really am. I was there. It sucks. doesn't get better.
Oh, that's horrible.
I wish somebody would have told me the truth.
Yeah. Well, maybe you would have tried different skincare routines or whatever when you were a teenager.
That's true. So I decided...
And let me tell you, I think the problem is because I don't have any acne and I just wash my face with soap. So maybe you just need to start washing your face more.
I do. Are you kidding? I wash my face every day. Every day. I have a strict skincare routine. So I think at this point, like, well, a month and a half ago, I was at this place where I do think moving to a new place and having to readjust to the climate has affected my skin. It's so weird, though, because my family doesn't really struggle with acne. Like, my mom, my dad, even my brothers. It's so strange. So I just decided I'm going to dive into this, remove sugars, only have natural sugars, fruits and stuff like that, and see if it helps my skin. So far, no luck, but so far skin still sucks. But I feel great. Like, I feel really good, and I have a lot of energy throughout the day, and I feel like that's new, that's different. I don't know, I just feel super good. I also think what's so funny is how much I cook now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when we got married, you did like you did all the cooking, really. You've
Right.
kind of done most of the cooking up until this point where I was so willing to take it on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have done almost all of the cooking. And it's been fun. I enjoy it. I mean, there are some days where I just do it because we have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even before this, though, I mean, I would eat hot Cheetos for dinner. And, like, that was it. That was my dinner.
Yeah.
So it's definitely changed things up. And I'm cooking a lot more. But I think it's been good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean that was kind of your motivation to start it was the acne and just general, you know, not wanting your stomach to hurt because of you eating lactose and stuff like that.
Yeah,
eating
that
dairy.
too.
For me, it was this sort of journey that I've been on. I think for the 4 years of our marriage, over 4 years now, where, you know, before I started this diet, I was about somewhere between like 65 and 70 pounds heavier than I was when we got married. And I think it was this process of me coming to this place. You know, you never really said anything about that. About me gaining weight and stuff. That was never like an issue between you and I.
Yeah.
But it was an issue for me personally. And I reached this place a couple of months ago of recognizing that for me, I felt that I was being unfair to you by not taking care of my physical health. Because you were like, you didn't gain, I mean, you didn't gain weight over the course of marriage. Like you said before we got married, you weren't going to be the person that gained weight after marriage, even though everybody said, oh, you're going to gain, you're going to get married and immediately gain weight. You said you weren't gonna, and you didn't. I said I wasn't gonna, yet I did.
But do you also think I have a fast metabolism that kind of helps?
You
I mean,
do
I
have
literally just said I eat hot Cheetos for dinner.
Well, you have a fast metabolism for sure, but you also are much more in control of your consumption than I am. You're good at saying no. You don't have to, if the food's in front of you, you don't feel this compulsion to eat it. You don't have these extreme dessert cravings. Like you just have a different mindset with food than I have. And I think what I recognized over the past few months was a sort of somewhat of a dependency I almost had developed on food and using food as a coping mechanism, right? You know, because it's like what other coping mechanism do I really have? I don't drink, so
Yeah.
food was almost this way to, kind of cope with stress or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a pretty big story, but I reached this place of real humility and recognition of like I've not done myself a favor here by letting myself gain weight. I've not done my future self a favor in terms of just the longevity of like living as long as possible because I'm healthy, like controlling the aspect of how long I live. Obviously there's a certain level at which we have no control over how long we live because, bad things can happen. But on another level, we have a lot of control, right? Heart disease, I have a lot of control over whether I get heart disease at this point, whether I get diabetes, whether, I have a lot of control over my health. And so it was me coming to this place of humility of recognizing I've not done myself favors in that area, and saying, hey, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of not being, I have a fair bit of discipline in a lot of areas of my life, but not in the arena of food at this season. And so it was just this all-encompassing mental shift of recognizing, wow, I want to live life differently in this area. For me, right? This very personal decision. I'm not saying this because I want to like guilt other people into anything, but me recognizing that for me, I want to make these changes in my life. And so I had tried some different sorts of diets in my life. I had tried keto. I've tracked, my macronutrients, tracking calories to an even further extent. I've done lots of things, and it's not that they don't work. Everything works. It just wasn't sustainable for me. The idea of living that way long term just wasn't tenable. And so we have some friends who were doing this Whole30 thing, and I was like, well, let me try this, because my problem on keto is keto is a high fat, no carb diet.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to live life with no carbs.
Yeah.
Like no fruits. I mean, no carbs.
Right.
It's just hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Crazy.
And for me, I struggled just not feeling that great on it, because you're consuming, for me, I was consuming a lot of dairy to make up my food, lots of cheeses and things. And obviously I like the taste of those, but they just made me feel kind of sluggish and stuff.
Yeah.
And then in tracking macros, the problem with tracking macros, tracking how many fats, carbs, and protein grams you consume is, for me, the problem is, you then open the door to eat a little bit of something bad. So like, oh, I can eat these Oreos, right? Because I can fit them into my macros. Because if I only eat 3 Oreos, it's this many carbs, this many fat, and I have that much left. My problem is that when I do that, I've then opened the door mentally to sugar, I guess, or to I've let my guard down on that discipline. And I would almost rather have let's take Oreos. I would rather have no Oreos than one Oreo. So it's easier for me to just cut that out completely than to just control my consumption of it, which is just a weakness in myself, but it just is what it is. And so because I know that, I say, okay, Whole30 allows me to consume foods that make me feel really good, right?
Yeah.
Lots of vegetables. I can eat fruit, which fills a little bit of that sugar, but also just gives you, fruit is just, fruit is fruit, you know?
Fruit is fruit.
And can still consume carbs, right? I'm allowed to eat potatoes and things like that. So you're able to eat a lot of foods that really are satiating and make you feel good.
Yeah.
And so it just checked a lot of boxes, and it's been for me very successful, and it's sustainable. We did 30 days, 0 cheating.
Yep.
After we finished those 30 days, we've started incorporating a feast meal in once a week, where every Thursday evening we go out on a date.
Yep.
And we're allowed to eat,
Which is so funny though, because we've done that now twice, and both times we're like, we don't feel great, and we haven't even had heavy meals at all.
Well, I felt better this last time. I didn't feel bad this last week.
I didn't.
It was the week. Great. It was the first week we had all that dairy. We ate ice cream, and that messed us up the first week.
Oh, the first week I was fine. This past week I wasn't.
Oh,
fine.
So we flip flopped.
Yes, we flip flopped. It was very strange.
Yeah, but it's just sustainable for me, and I'm losing weight, and I may not be losing it crazy fast. Right? Because you could lose more than 10 pounds in 45 days if you wanted to go crazy.
Yeah.
But 1, that's not healthy. 2, it's not sustainable. And for me, it's like, okay, I can picture living life like this until I get back to where I know I feel good weight-wise. And so it's like another, so now I started at, 280 pounds. Now I've just weighed in under 270. And so it's like, okay, another 65 pounds, and I'm at a place where I know I feel really good because I've been there before, and it's like, at my height and everything, being around 200 pounds, I feel really good.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's kind of been the journey. It's been interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. I think this is such a topic that not a lot of people talk about. It almost can be extremely taboo, which I mean, I completely understand.
What subject?
Like just weight loss and that journey and things like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so, yeah, it's just really crazy hearing you be so open about it. And I guess I just have a question, like, how is your mindset now, you know, from you kind of going through this process of just everything you talked about? And then like I don't know how to word this. Let me try to word a good question. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how is your mindset now today? Because you're at a place where you seem, I mean, you literally just put this on our podcast for anybody to hear. So you're obviously at a place where you are super, super open about it and 100% real for you and what you're going through. So I guess I'm just curious, how is your mindset now?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think
Yeah.
that I overcame some like personal shame I felt because I had, worked at a nutrition store. I managed nutrition stores and was in that was the best shape I've been in. I was in good shape. I was fit. I was healthy. I was pretty in control of what I was consuming. I say that I was eating pretty bad a lot with all of the guys that worked at the store, but we all just worked out like crazy to
Yeah.
compensate. But so yeah, I just, on a lot of levels, I think the reality set in that I was feeling a lot of shame for it all. And then I think just the overall mindset shift that we've had, that I think we even discussed in the first episode, of just like not caring about other people's judgment. If it's unfounded, it's like, good night. If somebody's judging me that I gained 70 pounds or whatever over the last 4 years, if they're spending the mental energy to judge me for that, I just feel bad for them.
Yeah, totally.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
you have the mental energy. You're not so consumed with pursuing things in your own life that you don't have time to care if I've gained some weight. You have enough time to spend energy judging me for that. I feel bad for you. That's honestly the mindset I've kind of developed. And it's put me in this place of like, yeah, I'm going to talk about whatever things I'm working on or overcoming. It's like, for me, all of the mental and emotional stuff that has come along with what I really feel was a bit of a dependency I had on food for a while there was a big, what did we call those in Rooted? When something was like controlling you and you're great, a stronghold. This has been a big stronghold in my life over the past few years. I've recognized now, in hindsight, being 2020, this has been a big stronghold for me. And it's like, I'm not embarrassed of saying, hey, I had this stronghold in my life and now I haven't overcome it, but I'm in the process of working through it and overcoming it and recognizing what within me allowed it to be an issue and all of those things. So it's just like, there's just no shame in saying, hey, this is something I've struggled with. And there's especially no shame in saying I'm overcoming it and I'm working through it,
Yeah.
And obviously it puts a certain level of pressure because it's like, I mean, anybody that cares enough to follow along, if I don't lose weight, now I've put it all out there. But, that also comes with being in a mental place where you know what you're going to do and nothing's going to kind of change your mind and you know the path you're on. So
also, I think too, what I've noticed with you, I mean, you're a confident person no matter what, in general, it doesn't matter. But even through this process over the last month and a half, I can just see how much more confidence you've gained through that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, because when you gain weight, anybody that's gained weight knows this feeling. Especially if you gain weight to a point that people can notice, hey, they're on the bigger side of things. You're always slightly concerned, like, you don't want to get invited to a pool party. You don't want to whatever you're. Oh, if I wear that, where are we going to end up? Because I know I don't look great in that shirt, but it's comfortable, but I don't look great. So am I going to end up somewhere with a lot of people? Or, suddenly you're wasting your mental energy on worrying about stuff that you just that doesn't matter, but does matter to you in those moments. And so I feel like that has been a big shift as well. I can't remember why I started saying that. You asked me something.
I just had basically said your confidence is rising.
Oh, confidence. Right. So, well, I mean, here's the thing. if you're doing things in life that make you feel good about yourself, and,
Right.
and you're doing things in life that you know you're pursuing
Right.
goals and you're accomplishing things and you're being productive in your life, then you become confident. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes,
So true.
lack of confidence is a result of just not doing things. You know, the first way to start becoming confident is just to start doing stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, right? You may not be lack confidence because of being overweight or being too skinny or whatever, but in any area, if you're, you know, if you're not confident at work, just start doing things at work. Or start educating yourself outside of work so that when you come to work, you're a smarter, more productive person. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You become confident by doing things.
Totally. It makes perfect sense. And, you know, you and I kind of map out these podcasts, but you and I really don't exactly know what we're going to say until we start filming. And so I just look at you.
Well, and specifically on this one, I didn't know what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, you really
had. You didn't tell me we were going to talk about this.
No, I didn't know you were going to go into all of this.
Oh, I thought that's what you wanted me to do once you started asking the question.
No, I was not. I was definitely not wanting you to get this real.
Oh, I don't mean, well, sure, on the level of realness. But I mean, I thought you wanted to talk about the weight loss component of Whole30 and
I just wanted
in a good way.
I wanted to talk about Whole30 and how it's been. Blah,
you
blah,
just
blah,
didn't expect me to go so
I didn't
serious.
expect you to get super, super real at all. Now people are going to think, oh, Ariel made him. No. That's why I freaked out at first. I'm like, no, I didn't make you.
Oh, no, of course you didn't.
No, but I think...
we joked about you making me do stuff at the beginning, but you don't make me do anything.
No,
I don't make you.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, but I just appreciate you
She
being...
has a knife to my throat.
Oh, stop. No, I just appreciate you being so real. I know these are conversations we've kind of worked through and talked about.
But again, it's been stuff that I, for whatever reason, just kind of have been mentally processing in my own brain. Oh, not for whatever reason. I listened to a message somebody gave.
Yeah.
Just talking about stepping into manhood and being a man, and it made me really do some self-reflection about okay, what areas am I, and not even being a man, being a whole healthy person. And it made me do some self-reflection about, okay, what areas am I still not being a whole healthy person? And this was one of those things. So
yeah. No, I appreciate it, and I love you, and I'm sitting across like, oh my gosh, he's getting down in it.
That's hilarious. I guess what I mean by I thought you wanted me to is, I'm open about this at this point, and so I thought you were just opening the door for me to do that. So sorry if I sidetracked us too much.
No, you didn't sidetrack us. I think it was all good. At this point, I don't know how long we're into it.
Well, you had to go check the door, but still we're at about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I actually want to flip the switch, going from talking about Whole30, your weight loss journey, my acne journey that is not going anywhere. Still there. But I kind of want to flip the switch and play a little game to end off our podcast for today. What are we going to title this podcast?
Overweight husband comes to terms with himself.
Heck no. We are not titling it that. We'll figure it out. But okay, I want to play a game. You have no idea what's about to come.
Okay.
You have no idea what's about to come.
But I'm gonna win whatever it is. I'm gonna win.
It's not a win game.
It's not a game. If it's not a win.
My word! There are games where nobody wins. You just have fun.
Those are called bad games that no one wants to play.
Okay, and it's not it's not an actual game.
Okay,
Let's do it. It's called, I'm going to put in some game show music right here.
That was good music.
Yeah, that was great. Welcome back to the absurdly, oh my gosh, I can't even read what I wrote. The absurdly, oh my gosh.
Okay, you're fine.
I cannot speak. Okay.
You said the word right.
The absurdly random question game with Ariel, where I ask you any question I want, and you have to answer it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to keep these like PG, even though I could go PG-13. And everybody knows I could go PG-13, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to gross anyone out or whatever. Okay, so let's just start with a simple question. Do you think it's weird to iron jeans?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's how you like pleat them in the front, and that's like so 90s. Like,
No.
are we on the TV show Friends? No, then don't iron your jeans.
Are you kidding me?
It's
That's so
2020.
in. Everything that people wear in Friends.
You're not wrong,
Is
and I
in
understand that
right now.
I understand that it's becoming a thing. And the truth is, I'm just trying to be controversial. I'm kind of neutral. I don't really care if you iron your jeans, but at the same time, ain't nobody got time for that.
Man,
I barely have time to iron a shirt, much less iron my freaking jeans. What's next? You can iron your socks and underwear? How much time do you have?
that's a little extreme.
You know what I
Socks
mean?
and underwear, but I like a good pair of ironed jeans.
I've never seen you iron a pair of jeans.
No,
I've never seen.
Okay,
The only time I've seen you have iron jeans, maybe, is when we visit your parents and you make your dad iron your clothes.
Yes. Okay, so growing up, yes, 100%. My dad likes to iron. I don't know what it is, but I have always loved that so much. So,
Man's an ironing fiend. He's good at it,
yeah,
too.
he's so good at it. He even knows, like, if it's material, I don't know if it can be ironed. He knows if it can be ironed or not.
What an adult thing.
Yeah, so
knowing what
but
can
no.
or cannot be ironed.
So my dad, growing up, always ironed our Sunday clothes. So like we
Right.
would lay out our clothes Saturday night,
Yeah.
and he'd iron them all Sunday morning early before we all got up. So
What a good dad.
I know, great dad. So we all had ironed clothes. Like I always had ironed clothes. So I don't like wrinkles, but I still don't own iron. I don't know why we don't own iron. I really thought the other day that
Because when
I'm
we
ready
moved,
to
when we
purchase
moved
one.
here, COVID-19 started, and who needs to iron things when you're stuck inside?
That's so true. So now, anytime I go home for a visit, I always get my dad to iron my clothes. I love ironed clothes. I do.
That's good.
But
That's
do
good.
I love them enough to do it myself? Not yet.
I get
Okay,
it.
next question. Is cereal a soup? Or a cereal soup?
No,
Why?
because cereal is its own category. Like, cereal and soup are both categories of food, and then there are types of cereal and types of soup. So no, cereal is cereal.
Okay, whatever. That was easy.
On top of that, cereal is, even if it wasn't its own category because of, it's just a different than a soup, cereal is so good that, in fact, that's one of the biggest things I miss on Whole30 is I don't eat cereal anymore.
love
And man,
cereal.
I got to tell you, I just miss having a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Actually, I don't even eat
Fruity
What I meant to
Pebbles?
say was Fruit Loops.
I was
don't
gonna
eat Fruity
say, I
Pebbles.
don't know if we've ever purchased Fruity Pebbles.
No, we haven't. I meant to say Fruit Loops, but I messed up. Okay, so what's the next question?
No, all the way. The best cereal is Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios are really good.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Fruit Loops.
Lucky Charms, those are the best.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Cap'n Crunch Berries.
Yep,
Reese's
yep.
Puffs. Cinnamon
Okay,
Toast Crunch.
all right. We can't eat any of that. Let's move on.
In fact, in my Instagram bio, I should put cereal aficionado.
Oh.
You know how there's sommeliers for wine? I should become a sommelier for cereal.
Yes, that would be great, except you can't eat cereal currently.
I know, but I'm saying, like, screw Whole30 if it means I get to eat cereal,
Oh my gosh, could you
After
imagine
everything I
becoming
just said about it all.
famous for that?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Ugh, that would be the life. Okay, what is something everyone looks stupid doing?
Shake weight.
Oh, Lord.
It's the first thing that came into my head.
Wow.
Shake weight.
No, oh my gosh. Now all I can
Next
think...
question.
Okay, well, do you know what mine is?
What?
I say it all the time.
What? Can't think of it.
Everyone looks stupid wearing a pair of goggles.
Oh, wearing a pair of goggles. That's
Yep,
true.
Yep.
You do
I
look
always
silly.
say it. Every time I put on a pair of goggles, I'm like, nobody looks good in goggles. Okay,
That's
last
true.
one. If you could detach one body part, which body part would it be?
Wait,
If you could detach,
and just not have to worry about it anymore?
well, you could like take it off and then like put it back on. Which one would it be, and what would you do with it?
Well, you could ask a question like that when you're trying to keep it PG. Because the most entertaining option is not PG.
Oh my gosh! I was thinking arm, eyeballs.
I know what you were
Why
thinking.
in the world? Well,
Because let's be honest, reproductive organs are inconvenient if not being used for their reproductive purposes.
Okay, I did not see this
What?
coming. I literally was here thinking like, okay, I bet he's gonna say my arm so that I could slap you with it. I would
I mean, that's a funny answer, but you
detach-
know that's not going to be the answer.
I would detach my arm and I would go around and just slap people with my, I don't know why you can't do that anyways, but I don't know. That's what I was thinking you were going to say. Or your eyeballs. But this went a different direction. So we're just going to end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Losing Our Minds podcast, where we recommend that you don't take any of our advice because, well, we're losing our minds. With all of that, I'm Ariel.
I'm Grayson. Thanks for watching. Listening.
Yeah, they're not watching.
They're listening. Episode 2. We'll see you for episode 3 later.
Adios.